We continue now our discussion with the new Bishop of Hamilton, Bishop Douglas Crosby. And Excellency, I want to just talk a little bit about your experience in Newfoundland. And you made it very clear that you love that community, both in some of the interviews you've given and in the comments you made this afternoon. But you had to deal with some very difficult issues there. And in fact, when we said goodbye to Bishop Tonis in a quiet moment, I asked him, you know, what is the most important and challenging issue that the new bishop will have to face in our diocese? And he mentioned this scandal that has gripped the church and in so many communities, including our country as well. And you handle that. Do you want to talk about that? How difficult was it? And has the church handled the whole issue appropriately, do you think, or could we have done better as a church?
Well, where do I begin? That's a huge question.
It is.
Where do I begin to answer that? Say, when I arrived in Corner Brook, there had been several lawsuits because of instances of sexual abuse, and these had to be responded to, and they had gone on for a long time. You know, these things just take time. The legal, what would you say, system is a slow and cautious and careful moving system, and so it took a long time, and I didn't realize that people were looking to me for a way through, and I mean I came there a little bit unaware of the what would you say, of the severity of it all, but little by little we worked with the professionals and found something that was acceptable to the claimants, and put our nose to the grindstone, I would say, and as a diocese, and worked hard at it, and we managed to work through it, thanks be to God. And nothing was perfect, and nothing is perfect in life, but I think we did very well, and I'm grateful that we came to the end of at least one part of a chapter, and a difficult part of a chapter.
Very difficult, and you know, the balance between the sympathy for the victims, the real victims, and also the protection, for lack of a better word, or the proper handling of the issue is what, as a layperson, has always struck me as the delicate balance that you must walk, and by all accounts you did that well. So let's hope that we're on a forward path, Bishop.
Well, I can say that for me the grace was the help I received from the advice and the help I received from people from all walks of life, and it was very. I felt very supported as we went through it. I mean, there were some difficult moments, but I think we struck a fair balance.
Fair enough. Excellency, I was reading a presentation that you made in Edmonton, and the theme was holiness. And one of the things that struck me about that was that you made holiness and the whole concept of being holy very accessible. Because when I think of holiness, quite frankly, I think of people like Pope John Paul or Mother Teresa, or even Gandhi or Mandela, perhaps, extraordinary people. But you brought it down to the common person. What is your definition of holiness?
That's, you know, thank you for saying that. I appreciate your comment on the Edmonton presentation, which I enjoyed very much. You know, the fathers of Vatican II, going back that far, said that talked about the universal call to holiness, that we're all called to holiness. And certainly we look to the great ones. We look to Pope John Paul because he was such a remarkable person, and Mother Teresa, the work that's being done. But you know something, I believe, and I've seen it in this community in the last 3 months. You know, I went to the Christmas dinner that was offered at the center. I don't even know what
the convention center.
The convention
this is the Good
center
Shepherd
here.
dinner.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
and sponsored by the Brothers of the Good Shepherd, and I know the city's involved in that, and there were 900 volunteers. And one of the volunteers, I was told, was a person who had been a recipient, or a person who had come to the dinner for many years, and this year she was able to volunteer to support. There's holiness. That's holiness. And, you know, I had a tour of the St. Joseph's Hospital one day. Sister Ann Anderson, who is the, you know, the head of the St. Joseph's Healthcare, there's a holy person who is doing something great for this city, and that hospital is full of holy people who are giving themselves day in and day out for the good of people who are in need. So, I mean, there's more holiness going on than we give credit for, and it isn't just the great ones. It's all around us, and it's just a matter of opening our eyes and our hearts and recognizing it because it's there.
Well, Bishop, you know, we're going to have to leave it at that. I'm afraid we're out of time,
Okay.
but there's hope for all of us. I really appreciate those words. Bishop, thank you for visiting For the Record, and we wish you all the success in ministering to our community.
Thank you very much.